Hey there, what's going on everybody? It's Star. Y'all are lucky. This video almost was a silent video since I haven't had that much time lately, and it would be way easier for me to just not record a voiceover. However, I couldn't resist talking about my favorite little guys. Speaking of, today's video is going to be about two of my old OCs. Yes, I am redesigning old OCs again, but this time I am going to be focusing on these two Angel and Devil OCs that I created back in 2020 or so. And basically the whole thing with them is that they were big gay lovers, basically. Of course, I wanted to get something out in regards to Pride Month. I wanted to shed some sort of light on that before the month ended, but I couldn't think of anything interesting to do. The first thing, of course, that I thought of was creating characters based off of pride flags, but literally everybody does that. I want to do something a little bit different, and this is the best thing that I could really think of. I'll try to think of some more things and put that type of stuff out as well if you guys want to see it. But that's pretty much all that I have to say. I'll talk more about the characters once we get into the speed paint. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this first character that we have here for today is called Taejon, and he is an angel worker, and he works in heaven as a, quote, human processing agent. It's the best thing that I could use to describe his type of position. And he basically looks over the backgrounds of different humans that have passed and have gone to heaven, so that he can basically see where to place them within the pearly gates. And he is an extremely hardworking person. He is super heavy perfectionist. He is one of the top people in his department. So he's really concerned with upholding his image and upholding his pretty boy businessy outlook towards other people. So that is his main concern. He's very uptight. He has a resting bitch face. He doesn't really have any time for anything else, anything social, any much fun or anything like that. He's just really concerned with his reputation and with upholding his image. Now I'll throw the little board that I made for this design up on the screen, and I had a slightly difficult time coming up with a design for this guy. The main thing that I knew I wanted to change was his hair, because his hair originally clashed really hard with his outfits in his previous design. I wanted to make his hair really long at the time. That's what I enjoyed the idea of, but he also wore a long cape, so both of those things together just did not work properly. So I wanted to shorten both of those aspects to make the whole thing easier to look at. I also wanted to incorporate a biblical angel type of part in his design, and add multiple different eyes to his hair. Now I couldn't decide if I wanted to do like a bubble braid thing or if I wanted to make his hair into an afro. I know that at one point I changed his design to an afro, but I didn't end up really liking it. So what I ended up doing was just combining both of those ideas into one design for his actual hair, and I literally adore this idea. I love that this is what I ended up settling on, and it's great. I love looking at it, and it's a very interesting design. And that's the other thing that I was focused on when designing both of these guys, was to make their designs a whole lot more interesting. They both lacked a lot of interesting qualities, especially the second demon character, who I'm going to get into in a little bit. He was not very interesting looking at all, so I wanted to change that a lot, and I wanted to add more interesting aspects to the character. And that's what I tend to gravitate towards whenever I'm designing characters, is adding interesting elements that correlate with their personality, but also just make them more pleasing on the eye. But I was also trying to match this guy's kind of, businessy personality, where he's just really concerned with looking professional. So when it came to designing a quote-unquote casual outfit and then his like quote-unquote business uniform, I wanted to kind of clash the two of them, since he always sort of looked businessy even when he's not at work. And then of course add a little fun element in his hair and just showcase the biblical angel part of his design again through his hair, like how I was describing. So the next character that we have here is Akira, which I have renamed to Jason. I couldn't really figure out a better name for him. If you guys have a name that I could actually use that's better than Jason, please let me know, because I'm kind of bad at naming OCs, but I really wanted to change his name. I didn't even like it back then when I had first made the name, but I knew that I wanted to change it at some point. I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to rename him. But this is Jason, and he is the demon character of this story. And I have changed up his story a little bit from his original plot. Basically, he is the heir to a very successful and very wealthy monopoly company in hell. And he is a businessman in training under his father. And he has pretty much a sort of double personality thing going on. He has the ability to be really strict and really, I guess, hard ass. He has this ability to just really strike fear in everybody, and that's one of the reasons why his dad wanted him to be the heir. He does canonically have a couple of other siblings who I didn't draw in this video, but I might draw later on. And he is the one whose personality he thought would be best to go with this company because of how his attitude is. But in reality, he's not actually like that. He doesn't like being that type of person. He's in reality more of a go with the flow, chill type of guy. He doesn't like planning anything. He doesn't like any tight-knit schedules. He doesn't like waking up early. He doesn't like doing anything businessy like that. It's not the type of route that he wants to go. He doesn't really know what other type of, I guess, career he wants to go into, but it doesn't have anything to do with business, and he doesn't want to be attached to a family business or anything like that. He doesn't want his life to just be centered around the family. He wants to go his own way, but at the moment, he's just stuck in a certain type of situation right now. So this is what he is doing at the moment. Now, like I was saying, the designs for these guys were really lackluster back in the day, and I really wanted to change that. Especially with Jason, he had a very lackluster design, so I really wanted to add way more interesting things to be looking at with his design. And the first thing that I really wanted to change was his hair. His hair always bothered me back in the day, but I had no clue what to change it to. It was just my dilemma with a lot of those designs, is that I didn't know what to actually do to fix the issue that I knew was present. And what I wanted to do, based off of the board that I ended up creating for him, which I'm going to throw up on the screen, is I basically didn't want his hair to be entirely red anymore. I wanted it to be more of like a dyed hair type of thing, and I wanted a kind of layered haircut going on with him. I'm not the best at doing layered haircuts, but I figured that would suit him really well. With his outfit, I wanted to do the same thing that I did with Taejon, where I have him in a casual outfit versus like his business or work outfit or whatever. And I wanted to kind of stick with one of his older designs for his work outfit. His older design, he was basically more like a prince than a businessman or anything like that. But I still like the idea of this type of cape around him for this casual outfit. I do still like the idea of a kind of more dramatic type of thing going on with his business outfit. And also to accentuate more of the double personality thing I was talking about. So I kept it, but I changed up a few little things to make it a little bit different. And then, of course, making his personal outfit extremely casual and extremely, low stakes, and just really accentuating that really casual personality that he has outside of work. This last piece is going to be a sort of interactive piece between the both of the characters. And this is actually a redraw of one of the first pieces that I had made of the two of them back in the day. And it was off of this base that I had found that I was actually actively looking for again when I was making this video. It was very fun for me to do, and it was very fun for me to do back then as well, but my proportions were super whack. I was having some trouble with the proper head proportions, and I was sort of making the proportions look exactly like the base instead of actually making the proportions look like how the characters' actual heads are supposed to look like, which is a thing that I had a problem with a lot whenever I was following bases or references during my time in the past drawing. So I really wanted to revisit that base and revisit this illustration, this concept, and do it again for this video. It was very, very fun to do, but there wasn't much to this. It was just a fun little illustration that I wanted to make sure I added in at the end of the video. So enjoy the rest of the speed paint. This is the end result for today's character designs. We have Taejon, Jason, and then their full illustration at the end. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm so happy that I revisited these two. I really, really liked the concept of this angel times devil type of thing, and I really enjoyed making the designs, but there was a lot of issues that was going on, so I really wanted to just touch back on them and see how I could improve on their designs and make them a lot more interesting, and they definitely turned out really, really good. So please let me know what you guys think of these two designs. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!